How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Brad, the DC Universe Geek, and I thought maybe today that we would try to do something a little bit different than normal. Let's use TierMaker and rank some DC heroes, and that's going to be particularly challenging for me, which is why I've chosen to do it, because I have a hard time saying which ones I like better and which ones I don't. But I'm going to go through it. I'm going to force myself through this just to get a good visual of which characters I tend to like better than others. My list would definitely be different than yours, so just to preface it, this is my personal opinion. I'm sure that you will have your own. If I remember, I will link the actual TierMaker chart here that I'm using down below so that you can do it yourself and see what you come up with. And if you would like to share your results with me over social media, tag me on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, go ahead and I will see what you have chosen, because we're all different and it takes all kinds. Anyhow, let's get to the ranking. S tier. Well, obviously, Batman is going to go up on the S tier, and Superman, because you guys know that Superman and Batman are my absolute favorite characters in the DC universe, so they're going to go up on top. Supergirl, I love Kara Zor-El. I'm going to give her a solid A tier. I think that she's definitely very interesting for someone like me. Always love reading about Kryptonians, but I'm not going to put her on the S tier because I'm going to leave room for characters like Diana, who I definitely like to read about more than Supergirl. Although, technically, I don't buy Diana's Wonder Woman book, but I do buy the Supergirl book. I do have that one on a monthly basis. Maybe that means I should put Supergirl up on the top. But Diana is man. That's so difficult. No, you know what? I buy the Supergirl comic book also because, I mean, I like reading about her, but it always ties into the Superman story as well. So, see, challenging. That's where I gotta leave it. Black Lightning, I think that he's a fun character, but I'm gonna stick him down here on the D list. Now, these can all be subject to change. I can kind of move these around too as I go, right? The list won't be final until the fat guy has sang or belched or whatever. Depends on how much gas I get from drinking this pop. Vixen, I think that Vixen should be down here on D list as well. I'm going to place her here for now. The Martian Manhunter, John Jones, obviously for me is going to go on the top. I love that character. I think he's absolutely fantastic. And they don't get him to eat enough Oreos anymore. I think that was a really fun part of the character's history. Wally West Flash gets an automatic S tier for me because, in my opinion, even though I like Barry Allen very much, I'm going to stick him on A tier. I don't think that Barry is quite as interesting to read about as Wally West. When Wally West took over as the Flash after Crisis on Infinite Earths, I feel like there was definitely more depth to that character, and he was certainly more interesting to read about. Plastic Man, I like the character very much. He's a solid B tier character. Can't really stick him any higher than that. The Black Canary, She's great. I like the Black Canary. I'm going to stick her down in B tier for now. She might climb the ladder, but she might get bumped down. We have Babs Batgirl. I don't like this suit, by the way. I like the previous suit, or even the previous suit before that. This one, maybe not so much, but the character itself, I really think that Batgirl is a really excellent DC character. Solid A tier. And then we have, let's do the Blue Beetles. Ted Kord, as far as I'm concerned, is definitely an A tier character, while the second Blue Beetle, he's interesting for now. Let's stick him down here in D tier. He can cool his heels in D tier just for now. He might move up the ladder. Mr. Miracle is a fantastic character, and there was a recent 12-issue year-long series that they put out that was absolutely fantastic. I think that he's a character that doesn't get the spotlight enough because he's not seen as a character that can do enough of anything. You know, he's one of the new gods. He's Mr. Miracle, blah, blah, blah. But I think he's a fantastic character, and I like him very much. So far, I'm going to put him on B. I might get him to climb the ladder to A. He won't be a S tier, but at the very least, he'll be a solid B and might move up to an A. The Aquaman, Arthur Curry, I think he's a great character. DC has had some troubles kind of deciding what they want to do with him over the years. I think in the New 52, they definitely badassed him up a little bit, and I like the character very much. I think that he is definitely an S tier character, although the writing has not always been S tier. I would really say, honestly, he between A and S is what he goes between, occasionally dipping down into a B. You know what? Let's put him in A, kind of in the middle of the two. Ollie, the Green Arrow, automatically gets an S tier for me. Fantastic character. I love the story arcs, especially the New 52. The Green Arrow, in my opinion, kind of stank. I didn't like him that much. But after Rebirth, when they started returning him to his roots, his pre-New 52 roots, I think that pre-New 52 and then Rebirth era Green Arrow are absolutely fantastic. There's a run of Green Arrow comics after the New 52 where it's absolutely fantastic. Seriously, read the run of Green Arrow. It's probably one of DC's finest runs. We have Shazam, Billy Batson. That's a tough one because Billy Batson is a character. Shazam, I know him as Captain Marvel. Sometimes his writing has been really good. Sometimes it's been not so great. But the very concept of a child who can say a magic word and then turn into basically a magic version of Superman, I think that's a really fantastic idea. Although he really is treated very often like a poor man's Superman. And for that reason, as much as I like him, I'm going to put him in A for now. Kyle Rayner, for me, goes up to S tier. I have a whole bunch of his early run as Green Lantern, and I think that he's probably one of DC's best characters that currently is being underutilized. Sadly, I'd like to see him used more. Dick Grayson, I think, is definitely an S tier character. There's no question about it. Hal Jordan is an S tier character as far as I'm concerned. Again, no question about it. We have Deadman. Let's stick Deadman. Even though he's kind of a fun character, he works well as a supporting character with, say, Constantine and Swamp Thing. He's fun, but not too great. I'm going to stick him down here in... Oh, that's tough. Let's put him in D for now. He might move down the ladder. He might move up. He's going to cool his heels in D. Connor Kent, Superboy. You know what? He's a character that he's seen some good writers and some not so great writers, much like Aquaman. You know, there was emo Connor Kent, there was badass Connor Kent, Superboy, and I think that overall, I think he is a fantastic character, and I would place Connor Kent currently as a... Oh, see, this is hard. Connor alongside the Black Canary. Yeah, for now, I'm going to stick him in B. He's got to stay in B for now. He might move up the list. Constantine for me is an S tier automatically. I love Constantine. I love his character. He's fantastic. I love reading about him. He's super interesting. And again, one of those characters that DC doesn't seem to use enough. Batwoman, Ms. Kane. Where do I want to put her? That's a tough one. I think that she is a C. She's a C. Yeah, definitely a C. Because I like Plas better than her and Con. Yeah, right now she's going to be a C tier character. Jay Garrick Flash, automatically for me. He hasn't had any really huge, like, his character development over the years. He's definitely seen less of it than, say, Wally West or other characters like that. But he's certainly one of my favorites. Let's stick him in B tier. Yeah, he's going to go in B. Damian, for me, is a top S. I love reading about Damian. He showed up on the DC scene at just the right time. Some people hate him. Some people can't stand Damian Wayne, and I can see why. I could understand. But I like him a lot, and he's definitely going to go in the S tier. For me, Hawkman, a character that had so much potential, and I feel like many writers have squandered it. And which Hawkman is it? There's been a few. I'm gonna have to stick him down in C tier. I can't put him any higher up than that. Cyborg for me is going to be a solid B as well. Mr. Terrific. Wow. How do we deal with Mr. Terrific? Okay, I'm gonna put Mr. Terrific in D, and I'm gonna actually move Black Lightning up to C. Because I definitely enjoy Black Lightning more than Mr. Terrific. See, I told you, it's liquid. Until the fat guy belches or sings, it's definitely liquid. Raven! Interesting. I like her, but I'm going to stick her down here in C tier. I can't put her any higher. Starfire, though, for me, is absolutely a B character. Bordering on being an A character sometimes, but for now, she's going to be cool on her heels in the B tier. Booster Gold, love the character. He's definitely an A. His character development over the years has gone from, hey, I'm from the future pretending to be a superhero. You know, I stole myself a flight ring and a suit and the time bubble, and here I am, and it was all for his own vainglory. And then over the years, his character has adapted into one that is doing it for the right reasons, and there's been a lot of really interesting character growth with him, and he's very interesting. I would actually read a Booster Gold solo book at this point. He's definitely one of my favorite characters. Hawk Girl, certainly more interesting to me than Hawkman, so I've got to put her up at least in the B tier. She gets B tier at least. Swamp Thing, a very interesting character, but I can't give him any higher currently than a C tier. The Atom, for me, that's going to be an easy C tier as well, even though I know the character and like him. C tier. Big Barda. I love Big Barda. I do. I like Big Barda a lot. She gets an automatic A tier for me. Stargirl, let's put her down here in the D tier. No one's made it to E, F, or who, so that's a plus at this point. Some of these are really small. I can't really tell who they are. Is that Bart Allen that I'm grabbing here? I think that's Bart Allen. Yeah, it is. He's really interesting. I like Bart, and I would like to see him in more. I think that Bart, especially in his current classic suit, which is now all new again, I think that in the Young Justice book, he's fantastic. He's one of the highlights of the book. So I'm going to put Bart Allen up in A tier. I like Bart Allen a lot. We have the Firestorm. Always liked the character, but never found him super interesting, like any of his story arcs. Like, I remember collecting a ton of his old Firestorm comics from the 80s, and they were kind of boring. You know, watching the exploits of Firestorm and Ronnie Raymond and the Scientist, it was kind of boring. So, and currently he's fun, but again, DC doesn't really seem to know what they want to do with Firestorm. And so because of that, it seems like the writing has, you know, been not quite as good as it could be. And his New 52 book was canceled, which kind of sucked. Anyway, okay, so Firestorm, let's stick him down here in C tier. I wish it could be higher, because he is one of my favorite characters, but taking all things into consideration, I mean, the highest I could put Firestorm is B, but I feel like that would be dishonest, so C. I'll put him in C. John Stewart Green Lantern automatically gets a... Ooh. Let's rethink that. He's interesting. He's fun. But at times he's also not... Oh, man. This was hard. This is challenging for me. Because I want to put him in A and I want to put him in B. Pretty much equally. I suppose the dividing line would be there have been some major events in John Stewart's history that made him much more interesting. But as a whole, I would rather read about Kyle and Hal than John. So I'm going to stick him down here in B tier. Oh, I know it's going to be painful for some people. Where's Jessica Cruz? I wish there was a Jessica Cruz here, because I would stick her up in A tier. I love reading about Jessica. I think she's fantastic. If you don't know about Jessica, then you're missing out. We have the Changeling. Beast Boy. He is interesting, but I got to stick him here. If I stick him here, though, I like reading about him more than Firestorm, but I don't want to put him up here on B tier. Yeah, let's put him here. Still no one's in EF or who. Mara, she's fun. Not quite as I'll put Mara down here in my D. It's fun that she's on the League and stuff like that, but I'm never really super excited to see her. I'm just like, oh, cool, she's here. Arsenal, a D, an easy D for me. I'm not too excited, you know, about Arsenal. It was great that they paired him with Red Hood and Starfire, which Red Hood is not on this list. Red Hood should be on this list, and he should automatically get an S tier. The Red Hood should, because it's the Red Hood. He's fantastic. They did a lot with that character. Dr. Fate gets a C. Wish I could give him higher, but they haven't done a whole ton with the character that's made him really that interesting to me. He's a character with a lot more power than people give him credit for, but they haven't done enough with him yet. Zatanna, she gets an easy B. At times, she is an A for me, but B would be a good average. Tim Drake, automatic S tier. I think that Tim Drake is, arguably, in my opinion, the most interesting of the Robins, and probably the best of the Robins. How? Well, that's because Dick Grayson is the best Nightwing. See how I got myself out of that one? And as much as I love reading about Damian, Tim Drake will always be my Robin from my generation. He was the guy that became Robin when I was, you know, Jason Todd had been beaten with the crowbar and blown up and was out of the picture when I was really young. And it was Tim Drake who was the first person that I saw ascend to the Robin position. And then I've watched him ever since grow in the character. Then we have the Question. He's interesting, but he's an E tier character for me. And then who is that? I wish you could click on them and then see who they are. Hang on, let's zoom in the screen a little bit and see what we can see here. Oh, is that Jonah Hex? Okay, that looks like Jonah Hex. He's down here as an E for me. And then Static Shock, yeah, he's down here as an E. All right, well that was pretty easy after that. Make the screen a little bit smaller. Get it back to where it's supposed to be. And I guess that's it. Yeah, we've ranked them all. No one made it to F tier. And no one made it to Who, because obviously I'm familiar with them all. Now let's just take a moment to see if I'm going to refine the list at all and move anybody up or down. I know that some of you right now are yelling at your monitor going, you got to move this one up or move that one down. What are you doing? But this is my list and I can make my own choices. I'm a big boy now. What do I want to do? I want to keep it the way it is, or do I want to shift anybody? No, I think that's... Let's move Black Lightning up one more to B. Yeah. Black Lightning, no, he's C. No. Yeah. I think what I had in the first place was what I wanted to have. So that's it. That is my list right there. If you wanted to, you ever wondered how I would rank DC characters, at least the ones they presented us with, they definitely left out some that they probably should have included. Jessica Cruz, Green Lantern, and the Red Hood. Red Hood would definitely be S tier. Jessica would be at least an A tier. That's really about it. Who I would absolutely include in this list. Anyway, this is my list. I'm sticking to it, but I'm sure you're going to have your own opinion. So if I'm smart enough to remember to have left a link for this particular tier list down in the comment section below, then feel free to do your own tier list and then screenshot it and then post a picture on Instagram and then tag me in it so that I can see what your list was and how it differed from mine, because it takes all kinds. We're all different people. We have different opinions and different reasons for marking our characters where we would. You guys all know Superman and Batman are my absolute favorite, but some people absolutely hate Superman and would put him way down, maybe an F tier. So show me what you would do with your own tier maker with the exact same characters. And I will see you next time with the next video. Have a DC day, everybody, and take care.